Well, good morning and thank you for coming. My name is Peter Ranelli. I'm an oceanographer. Now, I say that a little bit like I'm in a 12-step program. And the reality is that just like everything else, the reason you're in a 12-step program, and apologies to anybody who is in an actual 12-step program, the ocean is fascinating. It's captivating. It's amazing. And it captures you under its spell like no place else on earth. And my goal today is to show you all the beauty, wonders, and mysteries of the deep sea. Okay? So we're going to go on a journey. We're going to go on a journey. We're not going to go on a journey. We're going to go on a journey to the final wilderness. Okay? The final wilderness is the deep sea. What happens 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet, even 35,000 feet at the bottom of the ocean. What happens there? Okay? And there's no better way, there's no better quote I can think of than this one from Dave Berry. Okay? He says, staying on the surface of the ocean is like staring at the outside of a tent. There is so much more that goes on inside the tent under the surface of the ocean. You're all experienced travelers. You're all experienced cruisers. The ocean has captured you like it has captured me. The fantasy, the amazing sights of it. And I want to take you on a voyage that shows that a little bit more. Oh, I'm going the wrong way here. That actually opens up the tent to you and show you what's in the ocean itself. So, this is the entire series I call Exploring the Final Wilderness. Why is it the final wilderness? 95% of the ocean is still unexplored. The largest unexplored region on the face of the earth. There is so much more to know about the ocean. Here are just 7 bullet points about the ocean itself, how it's interconnected. It's one big ocean. It determines the weather. It provides food. It supports commerce. The interaction between the ocean and humans is it's important. We just need it to live on the earth. So it's very important to us in everything we do. And the more we understand the ocean, the more we appreciate the ocean, it's going to be better for the ocean, and it's going to be better for us. The other point of this slide is that oceanography itself, as a discipline, is really multidisciplinary. Now, my education was in physical oceanography. That means I studied how the water and how it moves and how the ocean changes. Okay? There are geological marine geologists, there are marine biologists, there are marine engineers, there are marine chemists. As an oceanographer, you have to be steeped in all those different areas as well. So as we go through, I think you'll appreciate just how all of these different pieces are connected. Okay? So who am I? Why should this guy be up on the stage talking and not me? Well, here's my background of what I did. 25 years in the Navy as a naval oceanographer, forecasting for battle groups and numbered fleets and other things. If anything, I would consider myself an operational oceanographer, meaning I didn't just want to understand the science, I didn't want to just be able to make a forecast, but I also had to apply that to the operations at sea. It could be as simple as putting a landing craft ashore during an amphibious operation. But I'll tell you, my most difficult forecast was always when the Admiral said, "Is it going to rain at my golf game tomorrow?" So here's a picture of me as a lieutenant commander on the quarterdeck of the USS New Jersey when I was the battle group oceanographer for the battleship, for the battle group. And then later on, I went to Sixth Fleet before I got my PhD, and then I ran R&D programs for the Navy and NATO as well. So that's my background. I'll be happy to discuss that with you any of these aspects of that as well. Let's get into today's lecture, which is the beauty and mystery and wonders of the deep sea. Okay, so what do we have there? What happens in the deep sea? What do I mean by the deep sea? Well, here's some of the features. There are creatures that live down 10,000, 20,000. Even at the bottom of the Marianas Trench at 36,000 feet, we've observed marine life there at the bottom. Of course, there are shipwrecks. This is the most famous shipwreck of all, the RMS Titanic. My final lecture of this series is called Finding the Titanic, where we'll talk about Bob Ballard found the Titanic and what he had to do that, and we'll actually take some video of the Titanic. The marine geology is very important. Understand the marine geology, because it's the forces that actually shape the face of the earth. Along the bottom of the sea are unique life forms. This is an area called hydrothermal vents, unique life form. We'll talk about that a little bit more in today's lecture. And of course, there's natural resources at the bottom of the ocean that we need to exploit for human good, but also there are downsides to that in that it is harming the ocean and the environment as well. And finally, there's lots of treasure at the bottom of the ocean as well. And stories about shipwrecks, very important. It makes sure you understand that. And here's some different examples in photographs of what we do with the ocean. Okay, and here it is in world. 50% of the air we breathe comes from that. Food, recreation, all these different aspects are part of the ocean as well. What is the health of the ocean? In 6 pictures, what do we have to worry about? Oil spills and runoff. Okay, and runoff is all these different things that we're putting into the ocean. None of it is good for the ocean. Okay, we have dead zones as a result. And we have, I live in Florida during the winter. We got red algae along the coastline almost, a couple of times a month nowadays. You've heard the Great Pacific plastic, all the plastic that's going into the ocean. And now they're finding evidence of plastic at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, the deepest point in the ocean, 36,000 feet. Plastic has gotten there. The warming ocean. What's the impact of climate change? The ocean, the meteorology, the climate are intricately linked, but the impact on the ocean is warming, and that has could possibly have many dire effects for us as well. Acidification. As you go through these islands, you're going to see the coral reefs are not as healthy as they once were. And finally, you have noise pollution. Some people don't think about how much noise is now going into the ocean from big tankers, from sonar systems, from oil exploration, everything else, and what's that doing to marine mammals. I want to finish with this video, which is a great video, and really emphasize the importance of the ocean.
People have the ability to make history, to create positive change. We need another revolution. We need a healthier planet.
Now, I don't want to leave you with the impression that there's no hope. There is hope. The United Nations, as it says here, recently passed, after many years of negotiation, the High Seas Treaty, which is looking to protect all the nations of the world have agreed to start protecting the ocean. Within the United States, these bottom two bullets I want to point emphasis to is the White House Office of Science and Technology has said we need to understand the ocean better, but and one of the things I learned when I was at the Pentagon is the saying, if you're not talking money, you're not talking. And the budget in NOAA is 150 times smaller than the budget in NASA. So we need to increase our investment in the oceans as well to understand it better. And I stole this quote from our speaker the other day. The ocean is considered the most sacred temple. I think it really sums up everything I've been trying to convey to you today as well. My next talk will be on the 29th, which with the date change, I'm not sure what day that is anymore. But it's going to talk about the plate tectonics and how one German meteorologist was able to upset the apple cart of the earth scientist in the early 1900s, and that resulted in our understanding of how the earth evolves.